to the line. 9, Chute. 12, Jackson Marius. 18, J.J. Bishop. And 21, Adam Zeitler. Now the starters for the Cougars. Leading off, Philadelphia number 2, Mitch Champagne. And the second is shortstop number 1, Mike Mercer. The pitcher number 6, Mason Mercer. And the catcher number 8, Jake Andrews. And the second is number 4, Mitch Mercer. Now I give the 23, Lucas Markowitz. And the second, the first baseman, number 3, Trevor Bushmaker. 98 in the center field, number 11, Garrett Markart. 99 in the third base, number 15, Trevor Seawall. Coleman is led by Andrew Pittsville. And now, for the non-starters, for the Pittsville Panthers. Number 2, Sawyer. Ray Casey Olsen. 15, Tim Coleman. 16, James Schultz. 17, William Dodd. 18, Jake Whitley. 32, Brian Brooks. 34, Dave Pamela. Now the starters, leading off the pitch, number 10, Chris Downs. And the second is number 9, Hunter Lake. And the third catcher, number 27, Andy Fox. And for the shortstop, number 5, Jared Fox. And the second is number 3, Brad Wesley. And takes the left fielder, number 13, Austin John. And second designated hitter, 26, Thomas Hughes. 98 the first base, number 29, Owen Boyd. 99 the third base, number 11, Adam Sturgis. And for the right field, number 20, Nick Crone. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please rise. It's time. Gentlemen, come with your caps to honor our country. Sing of our national anthem. This point, sung by Pittsville High School's Marissa Oakner.
The 65th annual WIAA Spring Baseball State Tournament continues here on semifinal Wednesday from Time Warner Cable Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute. It's the first Division IV semifinal as the Coleman Cougars battle the Pittsville Panthers. And good morning alongside Bill Brophy. My name is Matt Menzel. The Coleman Cougars, they've won 26 consecutive games, a squad that sits at 26-1. The Pittsville Panthers have 19 victories and 6 defeats, a squad that comes in having won 4 consecutive playoff games. Ultimately, they have won 8 of their last 9. For the Coleman Cougars, they will bat first with Mitch Champagne, the left fielder, leading things off with a red-hot .568 batting average. Mike Mergener, along with Mason Mergener, will also be due up here in the top of the first. Jake Ingles is batting cleanup with Mitch Mergener batting 5th. Lucas Markowitz bats 6th with Trevor Bushmaker. He's batting 7th. Batting 8th is Derek Marquardt and Trevor Seawald at third base, hitting 9th. And Bill Brophy, that lineup will face the right-handed pitcher, Chris Downs, for Pittsville.
Downs is a senior little guy, 5'9", 160. On the year, he's 6-3 with a .219 earned run average. His 13th game, his 9th start, he's thrown 3 complete games and a shutout. He's also had a save. In 48 innings, Downs has allowed 59 hits, 15 earned runs. He's walked 16, struck out 40. And Downs will face a lineup that collectively hits .430. And you'll get to know your Mergeners. Matt will go down the family tree for you as well as going down the lineup.
Yeah, we got the twin brothers, the younger brother, all in that lineup here today for the Coleman Cougars. Both of these teams a year ago in Division III, now all part of Division IV. For the Pittsville Panthers, a squad that is back here at state for the second time ever, first time since being in Division III back in 2006. For the Coleman Cougars, a squad that finished number 3 in the final Division IV state rankings, at state for the third time. They were here last year in Division III and lost to Winnebago Lutheran 7-6 in 8 innings.
And both these teams like to run and run and run some more. They believe in pressure in the defense, so get ready for a track meet. Coleman's got a bunch of little guys. They got one kid at 6'2" and another and 2 at 6 feet. Otherwise, everybody's 5'10" or smaller.
And here's Champagne at 5'7". On the very first pitch of the ball game, Jared Fox. And the speed of Champagne plus Fox, an ability to get that ball over to first, sees the Cougars get their leadoff man on base.
Ruled a hit. And as you said, Fox had some trouble getting the ball out of his glove. It's a routine grounder. And that play's got to be made. Generous scorekeeping to start the day.
Well, it brings up Mike Mergener, the shortstop, coming in with a .481 batting average. Coleman losing their first game of the season, that against Freedom, 4-3. Otherwise, they have been able to take it to the opposition. Been able to score 10-plus runs on 14 occasions. In the playoffs so far, they've outscored the opposition 33-5. Ken Casper, their head coach, said that losing that first game was a blessing in disguise because it really showed this team that they had some work to be done after qualifying for state a year ago. Even with just about everybody back from that team last season, that it wasn't a given that they would get back here to Grand Chute. Their entire starting lineup is back. That for the Cougars from last year's Division III semifinal appearance. And Mason Mergener was the starting pitcher in that game. Two balls and no strikes to Mike Mergener. Runner goes. Great jump as the ball deflects toward Jared Fox behind the second base bag.
Again, according to the stats we've been given, Coleman's been caught stealing only once all year. Champagne was caught the one time, but he's now 31-32 in stealing bases this year.
He is 1 of 3 with at least 19 successful steals this season. Mergener at 3 balls and a strike. Coleman knocking off Ross Schultz in the sectional final. That was the number 2 team in the final D4 state rankings. Nick Crone out in right field, able to put it away and back to second base. Goes Champagne. And for the defense for Pittsville, it is Austin John, Hunter Laddick, and Nick Crone from left to right field. Adam Sturgis, Jared Fox, along with Brad Wesley and Oli Voigt from third to first. Andy Fox is catching Chris Downs.
And here's Mason Mergener, a .558 hitter with 31 RBIs for the Cougars.
He'll take a ball up and in from Downs.
43 hits this year, all singles. Mason's 5'8", 160.
Tough play off the glove of Jared Fox. Staying put over at third base, Mitch Champagne. Hit number 2 on the day for the Cougars.
In fact, Fox kept the ball in the infield, saved a run. In fact, I'm a little surprised the way these guys run. Mason Mergener didn't try to go to second, as Fox had trouble coming up with the ball down the third base line. Runners on the corners with one out.
So already an aggressive approach at the plate for the Cougars. Sturgis going to second for the force. He'll get it, but in the score is Mitch Champagne. And Coleman with a 1-0 lead with 2 down here in the top of the first.
So Engels gets the high bounder to third, and we saw a lot of those, particularly as the day went on yesterday. People just pounded that dirt in front of home plate, and we saw a lot of high bounding balls. That one allows the runner to score. They get the force at second, however, and Jake Engels is credited with an RBI.
And now the third marginer in the Cougar lineup, that being Mitch in the right batter's box. And on the first pitch he sees, being tested over at short, Jared Fox is able to record the 6-3 putout for out number 3. But the Coleman Cougars, they score 1 run. They pick up 2 hits. No errors with 1 left on. It's the middle of 1. The Cougars 1, and Pittsville coming up.
The WIAA requires good sportsmanship. Pick up the second base. We request your cooperation in supporting the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments, or other intimidating or taunting actions will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please enjoy the game in a positive manner.
To the bottom of the first inning, our first chance to check out the offense of the Pittsville Panthers. Again, coming in with 19 victories and 6 defeats. Leading things off will be the pitcher Chris Downs, with Hunter Laddick, the center fielder, batting second. Andy Fox, who is catching, hits third. Jared Fox, the shortstop, batting cleanup with Brad Wesley, the second baseman, batting fifth. Austin John in left field, followed by Thomas Hughes, Oli Voigt, and Adam Sturgis. The starting 9 that will face the right-hander Mason Mergener.
Yeah, Mason's not a real big guy, 5'8", 160. He's a junior. Unbeaten on the year, though, 10-0. This is his 17th appearance, his 11th start. He's thrown 3 complete games, 2 shutouts, and has a microscopic earned run average of .54 and 57 in the third innings. Mergener's allowed 27 hits, 3 earned runs. He's walked 27 and struck out 55.
As for the defense for Coleman behind him, it is Mitch Champagne along with Derek Marcourt and Lucas Markowicz from left to right field. Trevor Seawald, Mike Mergener, Mitch Mergener, and Trevor Bushmaker from third to first. And Jake Engels is catching Mason Mergener.
Pittsville hits .312 as a team. And they like to run and run and run some more as well. They're 125 out of 137 in stolen base attempts. That ain't bad.
Not at all.
That's about 4 stolen bases a game. So if you can get on to first, start the merry-go-round.
Well, Chris Downs is looking to start a trip around those base paths. He is coming in batting that .467. That is tops on the team among those that have played in just about every game this season. Count is even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Now for Mason Mergener, he pitched both sectional games this past week. Pitched 4 innings in the sectional semifinal against Wasaki, but also pitched the first 4 innings against Rosholt. Ball put away by Markowitz, and Chris Downs the first out.
A cloudy, cool morning. Most of the sun's supposed to burn through the clouds. Wind's blowing out the left. For most of yesterday, it blew out the right. Turned around the middle of last night's game, and so any ball hit the left should get a bit of a boost. It is not a strong wind, however. A lovely morning. If you got to play baseball at 8 a.m., there probably couldn't be a better day.
Yeah, no doubt. They're saying about 60-degree temperatures here for the first pitch. And the next offering is in there for a called strike. And do note that a correction in the lineup has just been handed to us, and it's Sawyer Laddick that is in the number 2 spot and currently batting for the Pittsville Panthers. Originally we were told Hunter, but Hunter has only played in 2 games this season. But it's going to be Sawyer, the junior, who is going to be batting second and playing in center field.
Sawyer's a .390 hitter. Not a lot of power in this Pittsville lineup. They got 1 triple, 1 homer, and 33 doubles collectively.
Able to knock off DeSoto to get here 2-0 in a sectional final after rallying down 3-2 against Caston in a sectional semifinal to win 5-3. And there's a strikeout of Sawyer Laddick. 2 down. That brings up the catcher, Andy Fox. Fox, a junior, 1 of 9 on the Pittsville roster. They only have 2 seniors. 2 seniors being Chris Downs and Thomas Hughes, who have really carried this team. Downs from a pitching standpoint. Count no balls and a strike. Ball going to drop for Fox, the reigning all-conference honorable mention. And so a 2-out single will extend this bottom of the first for the shortstop, Jared Fox.
Get a courtesy runner for the catcher.
Jacob Schultz, the freshman, coming out of that third base dugout. As we play on here in this Division IV state semifinal, first of 6 semifinal games today. You have Johnson Creek against Greenwood coming up after this one, and the 2 will meet in tomorrow's Division IV state championship game at 9 a.m. For Jared Fox, he is hitting .407. Thus far with 23 runs batted in, that is good for third on the team. He's behind 0-1. Totally the Mason Mergener pitched in last year's Division III semifinal. Ended up being the losing pitcher, a tough one to swallow against, again, Winnebago Lutheran. Lasted 7 2/3, giving up 7 runs, 4 of those earned on 8 hits. Couple of strikeouts, would walk on 7 occasions. But a tough one in the sense that Coleman able to rally, scored 5 runs in the 7th to take a 2-run lead. Vikings would come back. They would tie the game before winning it in the bottom of the 8th inning. And they realized they were oh so close to getting into that championship game. Winnebago Lutheran went on to win the Division III state championship by knocking off Partyville. And so toward the end of that season, Coleman kind of came together and went, look how close we got. What could have been if we would have been able to sneak out that semi?
But Mergener doesn't look anywhere near as comfortable pitching from the stretch as he did in the windup. His command way off, and that's a 5-pitch walk to Jared Fox.
So first and second with 2 down for Brad Wesley. Wesley this season hitting .220. Looking at it was 7 RBI total.
force Merger to throw a strike there.
Close play over at second base, but Scholl's able to get back. And Mason Mergener, the Conference Player of the Year, a season ago in the Marinette and O'Connell Conference, in which he claimed that accolade as a sophomore. He was one of 6 first-team All-Conference selections with 9 total All-Conference selections, all 9 back here this season. Experienced bunch with 3 juniors, 8 seniors, 11 upperclassmen on their 15-man roster. And right now I had no balls, 2 strikes on the Panthers' second baseman.
Wesley with a good job of fighting that fastball off. It's down to his coach, Bill Urban, for the sign, and I would think the sign is find some green in the outfield and bring in a tying run with a 2-out hit.
High chopper, tough play, and unable to come up with it cleanly is Mike Marginer. Hit number 2 for the Panthers. Bases loaded for Austin John.
Another infield hit again. As the day went on yesterday, the ground in front of home plate got harder and harder. They watered it down, but we've already seen 2 big hoppers in the first inning here. The latest by Wesley loads the base, and Austin John with a chance to be a hero.
He'll look at ball 1. John is batting .200, 4 runs batted in. But yeah, Scholl's over at third base, Fox at second, and Wesley occupying first. Count even up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Austin John's a 200 hitter with 4 RBIs in the year. Just a sophomore.
Count goes to 1-2. As Prove told you, these 2 teams can hit at a fairly regular basis. Can score at will as well, with Pittsville averaging close to 8 to 9 runs per ball game. Coleman averaged close to 10 runs per game. Well, the Panthers unable to score in the first. They strand the bases loaded thanks to a couple of Ks by Mason Mergener. After 1 in this Division IV state semifinal, it's Coleman in front, 1-0. Top of the second inning from Time Warner Cable Field at Fox City Stadium here in Grand Chute. Matt Menzel with Bill Brophy, a great crowd on hand for this 8 a.m. first pitch in this D4 state semifinal.
That's a credit to the people in these 2 towns that get here. Because I got to say, Abner Doubleday didn't have an 8 o'clock start time in mind when he invented this game.
Back at state, you have Coleman here for the first time since last year in Division III, but 3rd time all-time. Trying to advance to the divisional championship game for the first time. Ball sneaking just under the glove of Adam Sturgis, and Lucas Markowitz able to reach safely.
I think that'll be an error. It will. And for the second straight inning, Coleman has the leadoff man on. Last inning easily could have been an error. They ruled it a hit. This time, the official score is awakened and ruled it an error.
Had that second cup of Joe. Here's Trevor Bushmaker. But a pretty aggressive approach already for the Cougars. Going after that second pitch. 7 batters on in. And back to first base is Markowitz. Bushmaker, a first-team all-conference selection last year.
Luke is 22 out of 22 as a base stealer over there at first base. That's why he's getting the attention he is from Downs.
And for Bushmaker, a .351 average. Ropes it into the stands. He ended up being the winning pitcher in that sectional final that many felt could easily have been a Division IV championship matchup, a game that was decided in 8 innings, a well-played game that would see Coleman knock off Rochelle by a 3-2 final. Rochelle, a state qualifier each of the past 2 seasons. Cougars were down for 6 innings of that contest, 3 outs away from being eliminated before they would tie it and win it by scoring 1 in the top of the 8th. Up the middle, a base hit off the bat of Bushmaker, and Markowitz stopping at second base.
Nice approach by Bushmaker as he goes up the middle against Downs. Downs mad at himself for not snaring the line dry, but that had some juice on it. Coleman's got something going with 2 on, none out here in the second.
That for Derek Marquardt. On the very first pitch, he sees sent to left field. Stop sign put up. Base is loaded for the Cougars.
Again, first ball hitting Marquardt with a single. Ken Casper sensing a big inning. Holds the runner at third. So the base is loaded with no one out. And Trevor Seawald with a chance to give his team a little breathing room early.
On the very first pitch he sees with the infield drawn in, they go to third. Layton coming over to cover that third base bag was Adam Sturgis. In to score is Markowitz. Coleman with a 2-0 lead and still nobody out.
Well, that's a strange play. Infield was about halfway. Fox elected not to throw the ball home with forces at any base. And quite honestly, I don't know how he didn't get a force here at third. Fox elects to go to third. The third baseman not in the bag and never tagged the bag, nor did he tag the runner, I guess. So Sturgis.
Now correct me if I'm wrong. Would that not have been a forced situation?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said. But Sturgis never tagged the bag or the runner.
Conference right now on the mound.
So give Seawald an RBI. The base is still loaded. Maybe they just ruled that a fielder's choice, and probably correctly so. And the lineup gets turned over. Here's Mitch Champagne with that glowing average, and the base is loaded, nobody out.
He'll take a ball upstairs.
Champagne again hit .568 coming into the tournament with 11 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 23 knocked in.
Ball getting away from Sturgis for a second. Back to third is Bushmaker. Marquardt over at second base, and then Trevor Seawald at first. Champagne last year among those honored in the conference with first-team accolades.
Infield in. Pittsville sensing you got to snuff out some runs when you're going against a pitcher like Champagne. So even though it's the second inning, kind of surprised, but Bill Urban brings the infield in with nobody out. Big chance for Champagne to bust this game open early.
Count even up at 2-2. Already Markowitz has touched home. He led off this inning by reaching on knee 5. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Cougars, and still nobody out here in the top of inning number 2. Nice stop low and away by Andy Fox. Trying to do some serious damage against Chris Downs early. Bouncer to short. Blocked by Jared Fox. Can he recover? No, he can't. In to score is Bushmaker. Coleman in front 3-0.
Well, the ball has fouled Jared Fox a lot here in the first 2 innings. That time he took a short hop off his chest. That's going to be a tough error. But it is an error. You can see Fox gets the short hop, stays with it, and is thrown to first just a tad late. Champagne probably get an RBI, but he reaches on the air 6.
That's at least the 4th baseball that has found Jared Fox early. Ball curves away from Mike Mergener, who flew out to right field for the first down in the first inning.
He's had 5 chances.
Jeez. And a couple of errors against the Panthers here in the second. Lead runner at third base, now Derek Marquardt. Seawald at second with Champagne at first. 2 in here in the second, 3 for the ball game. And the count 3-1. Again, testing Nick Cronin right. Tagging from third, Marquardt. He's going to score. RBI, sac fly for Mike Mergener, and the Cougars now lead 4-0.
Second straight AB. Mergener goes the other way. Nice piece of hitting, though, and as the sac fly to the opposite field brings in Marquardt. It's 4-0.
Seawald staying put over at second base with 1 out on the scoreboard. Mason Mergener. He'll take ball 1. Last time Chris Downs pitched in the team's sectional final victory. Had a complete game. A 6-hit shutout. Not here today. Rounding third is Seawald. Throw is up that first base line. RBI single for Mason Mergener, and the Cougars now lead 5-0.
Seawald had a good secondary lead, and when that one got past shortstop into left field, he's going to score easily. And I think we're going to get a pitching change. Downs is out, and I think Laddick is going to come into pitch.
So far this season for Pittsville, pretty much their pitching staff has consisted of Downs, Laddick, and Fox. They have been the 3 that this Panther team has relied on. And those 3 have carried this team here to their state appearance. But Downs is out after facing 7 here in the second inning. So far having allowed 4 runs on, well, in this inning, giving up 3 hits. The Cougars also taking advantage of a couple of Panther errors as Jake Ingles waits on deck. What a start, though, for Coleman here in this Division IV state semifinal. As you check out Sawyer Laddick, who moves in from center field.
Laddick's a lefty, 5'11", 145 pounds. 4-2 in the year. This is his 14th game. His 5th out of the bullpen. He's thrown a complete game. And as a starter, he's also saved a pair of games. There's a 3.48 earned run average to go with that 4-2 record. In 50 and a third innings, he's allowed 48 hits, 25 earned runs, has walked 30 and struck out 46. So the left-hander is being asked to stop the bleeding. Coleman with 4 in, a 5-0 lead. And 2 on, and still only 1 out in the second inning.
We'll have to check out the defensive alignment for the Panthers. I do know that Chris Downs has moved now to short after Jared Fox became a magnet for that baseball. To figure out who is out in center field now with Sawyer Laddick coming in from the outfield. So again, Chris Downs.
Fox goes from short to center.
Okay.
Laddick from center to the mound. And Downs goes from the pitcher's mound to shortstop. And the merry-go-round continues in the batter's box as Jake Engels will get the hit with 2 on.
8th batter here in the top of the 2nd. Runners go. Went after the pitch away to protect his base runners with Champagne to third. Mergener over to second base.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Coleman run more, but they haven't had to, I guess. But with 4 in, you start cranking up the running game. That really gets demoralizing.
Playing in. Downs throwing home, and the tag applied. Andy Fox able to apply the tag on Mitch Champagne. He's out number 2, taking third base on the play, Mason Mergener.
Well, Downs threw a best fastball to the plate there when he was at shortstop. Ball hit right at the shortstop. Downs pointing in, throws a dandy to Fox. As they say, I think he had more zip on that ball than when he was on the mound, but a nice defensive play by Downs.
And it brings up Mitch Mergener after Andy Fox able to apply that tag and retires Champagne, denying him his second run of the game.
They concede the stolen base to Engels.
Count no balls and a strike to Mitch Mergener. On the outside, counting it up at 1-1. Mitch was 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. That came in their sectional final victory. And on the 1-1, he pops up on the left side of the infield. Downs, after moving to short, has 2 plays come his direction, able to make those plays and put an end to the top of the 2nd, but not before 4 runs come in to score. And the Coleman Cougars on top of the Pittsville Panthers, 5-0.
Nearly 800 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and athletically through the WIAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Mark Field Clinic. Applicants will be in the running for the 32 State Scholar Athlete Awards. Application materials are available exclusively online through the WIAA website.
We move to the bottom of the 2nd inning, a 5-0 lead for Coleman in this Division IV state semifinal. Coleman 5 runs, 5 hits. Pittsville has had 2 hits, left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 1st. Here's the DH, Thomas Hughes, who is hitting .194. He has 15 RBIs, one of those coming to the team sectional final. He was able to pick up an RBI double in the second of that sectional final 2-0 W. And then Jared Fox had an RBI sac fly to account for the 2 runs. Always tough in a matchup like this from a preparation standpoint. Get the old coaching line that, you know what, we can't worry about our opponent. We have to go out there and play our style of whatever the sport may be. Pittsville, in preparation for this game, Bill Urban did talk to 3 other coaches to kind of get a sense of what they could expect from Coleman. He knew the big issue would be the athleticism and trying to find a way to somehow slow down Coleman, which nobody has been able to do this season. But 2 teams meeting for the first time at least here this season. Trying to move on to that Division IV state championship game that gets underway at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, you got to play good defense and hope you pitch well. And they haven't played good defense. Made 2 errors. Had a third one, could have been an error. It cost them at least 2 runs. And that's the last thing Pittsville wanted against a team like Coleman in the early going. But the thing that's skewed, and we see it every year, particularly at the lower divisions, teams come in with gaudy batting averages, and good pitching always shuts down good hitting. It was never more true than last year when Kyle Cody out of McDonald Central, I mean, he's a big-time pitcher, and he was awfully good on the first day of the tournament. Went on to get drafted by the Phillies last week in the 33rd round. But we've seen it other years, too. Aaron Dodd, I remember, came in here and struck out 15. And, again, that was a Division IV game. But no matter what those gaudy stats are, they always can get shut down by an elite pitcher.
Just wait to hear some of the numbers in our next game. You have a Johnson Creek team that has outscored their opponents 56-10 in the playoffs, talking about some of those high offensive totals. Here it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Oli Voigt. And the count even up at 2-2.
Well, the most amazing thing about that is Johnson Creek scored 22 runs in 1 inning.
1 inning.
17 after 2 were out. And that was against the Shullsburg team that had eliminated perennial power Burlington Catholic Central in the sectional semifinals. It's a funny game.
3 balls, 2 strikes now the count to the Panther first baseman. Voigt, who's batting .269, draws the walk. Second one issued today by Mergener. And it brings up Adam Sturgis. A lot of similarities for the Cougars from last year to this year outside of the same exact roster. Just runs that they were able to make to qualify for a state. We told you in this one, 26 consecutive wins. Had a long run last year to eventually get back to the state tournament. Team that came in with another pretty impressive record, finishing that year 21-2. They've gone 47-3 over the past couple of seasons. On the jam shot, ball put away by Seawald. Sturgis retired. There are 2 down, back to the top of the order, and Chris Downs.
Mergener absolutely tied up Sturgis there, and Pittsville now turns the lineup over, and Downs hits.
He was a first-team all-conference selection a year ago, and that was a Panther team that won 18 games. He got spun around, and he's behind 0-1.
No. Chris trying to hit that one to downtown Appleton.
Already down 5. They have Voigt over at first base. On the offer, ball bounced away from Jake Ingles, but strike two to Downs, with Voigt moving to second base.
Pittsville needs a hitter. Downs trying to think two-run homer, and he needs a two-out hit.
Just did go fouled on that left field line after the run made by Mitch Champagne.
Downs changed his approach from, again, trying to hit it down to the Paper Valley Hotel to going the other way and just getting that two-out hit. Those 5-run homers are tough to get to. Instead, you got to chip away. Pittsville up the bases loaded last inning. Got a runner in scoring position again here with 2 outs in the second.
The 0-2. And the count out, a ball and 2 strikes. Fourth batter here in the second inning after Pittsville sent 6 to the plate. Coming up with a couple of hits, but could not get that clutch as Austin John would strike out for the third out. One of a couple of Ks now for Mason Mergener. Tapper that goes foul up the third base line. Two teams that come in, they've never been shut out. Neither team here this season. Both teams have been able to put up their fair share of runs throughout the course of this 2012 campaign. Trying to score some here are the Panthers on the 1-2, and we'll do it again. Of the 6 losses for the Panthers, 2 of those against Marathon, a team that would finish in first place in the Marywood South Conference. Looper that flies over the glove of Mike Mergener. Rounding third base is Voigt. Throw is cut off. Pittsville's on the scoreboard.
And again, Downs changes approach. He went from trying to pull the ball and hitting a home run to going the other way, and that's what his club needed. A 2-out hit, he gets it for him by inside outing the ball in the left field.
Downs able to pick up RBI 16, able to fight off a couple of pitches before sending that one to the outfield.
That's a good AB by Chris Downs.
Throw was cut off despite the slide into the plate by Oli Voigt. And the Panthers now trail 5-1 with 2 down here in the bottom of the second, and Sawyer Laddick, a strikeout victim, at first AB. The Panthers a third-place finisher in the Marywood South Conference. In Marathon finishing at first at 13-1. Stratford finishing second at 10-3. And then came the Panthers at 9-4. There goes the runner, and a lofty throw from Jake Ingles. And a successful steal for Chris Downs. Many feeling, though, for the Panthers, this is an unexpected run to the state tournament.
It's the 46th stolen base of the year for Chris Downs.
He's 1 of 4 with at least 12 successful steals this season.
It's a far cry from 12 to 46.
Well, yeah, but I'm just... You have 2 there with 22 apiece.
46 out of 49. That's pretty good at any level.
But again, a team that you mentioned earlier coming in with 137 stolen base attempts. All up and down the lineup, everybody but 4 have attempted at least 1 steal. Everybody on this 19-man roster. As time is called by Sawyer Laddick. You have Downs with the now 46. You have a couple with 22 apiece. Count is full of 3 balls, 2 strikes.
But when you're behind by 5, or now 4, you better make it if you're going to steal bases. We saw Middleton run itself out of the tournament yesterday, taking 4 outs in the bases in the last 4 innings of a Division I quarterfinal.
Second walk in the inning, third for the game for Mason Mergener. And Pittsville is winners of first and second for Andy Fox. Fox, he would single, and he was relieved on the base pass by Jacob Scholes, who was stranded 90 feet away.
Chance for Pittsville here. He's their leading RBI man with 31.
You have Downs, that lead base runner over at second base. Laddick over at first. Play on here in the bottom of the second inning. Count is even up at 1-1. Again, the first of 6 here on this semifinal Wednesday after 6 Division I games taking place here yesterday. The count goes to 1-2 on Fox. Last game wrapping up last night around midnight. And now Division I off until their championship game tomorrow night. Time is called by Fox. And Seawald trying to recover, throws it into foul territory. Scoring is Chris Downs. To third goes Laddick. Pittsville down 5-2.
An error on the third baseman, Seawald, who compounded his mistake when he couldn't field the chopper successfully. Probably should have eaten the ball right there. Instead, he threw it away. I think they give him 2 errors, and probably rightly so. 1 on bobbling the ball, and then 1 for throwing it down the line, allowing the runner to advance another base. So runners on the corners, another 1 in, and Pittsville gets the tying run to the plate.
It's Jared Fox behind 0-1. He would walk back in the first. And among those left on base, bases loaded, he was stranded at second.
Into the mound comes the Coleman coach.
Mason Mergener along with Derek Marquardt. Big reason why this team finding themselves on a 26-game winning streak. A couple of juniors. Stats that we were provided, 19-0. This is a pitching staff that collectively has a 0.86 earned run average. Those two together at 0.52.
But Mergener has walked 3. Giving up 3 hits the first inning and 2/3.
Not even up at 1-1. We've already seen on the Pittsville side of things, their starter Chris Downs yanked from the game after 1 1/3. Counted the ball and 2 strikes. Been a second, I would see Coleman sent 9 to the plate. Now Pittsville countering with what has been so far a 7 batter bottom of the second. Laddick at third with Fox at first. And Jared Fox the hitter. 4th batter since the second out recorded. And the 1-2. Left side of the infield, and Mike Mergener puts it away for out number 3. But the Panthers respond. They scored 2. They pick up 1 hit. They capitalize off a couple of Coleman errors on 1 play, and they leave 2 on base. After a 2 in the Division IV state semifinals, Cougars in front 5-2. Season number 7 of Division IV play here in the WIAA Spring Baseball State Tournament. To the top of the third, a 5-2 advantage for Coleman over Pittsville, able to put on and tack on 2 in the bottom of the second inning after a early 5-0 lead for the Cougars. Top of the order.
Stranded 5 in the first 2 innings, and that may come back to haunt them.
Top of the order, and I should say Lucas Markowitz will lead things off after we saw the entire order bat in that second. Markowitz reaching by way of the only error thus far against the Panthers in E5. He'd come around and score in the second. Second team all-conference selection last year. Yeah, Bushmaker and Marquardt also due up. Cougars this year winning the Marinette and O'Connell Conference. 10-0, their final conference markout, scoring their opponents 97-4 in league play. Walsaki, their closest competition, they were 2 games up on that program. Knocked that team off in the sectional semifinals. A Walsaki team that was number 7 in the final Division IV state rankings. And there's ball 4 to Markowitz. This one on pace to be a 3.5-hour marathon, as both have put together some lengthy innings.
And all 3 pitchers having problems throwing strikes.
Here's Bushmaker. Now for the Cougars, they knocked off Marion in the regional semifinal. That was a squad that won the Division IV state championship in 2009. Cougars winning that regional semifinal 13-0 in 5, and then knocking off Bowler for the regional championship 7-1. That they're out for their 3rd state tournament appearance. A foul ball. Austin John had a long run to make.
Can curl one around the foul pole. 325 isn't a long way for a high school player. That one didn't have home run distance, but just foul. Could easily been an extra base hit.
I know we had talked yesterday during our D1 quarterfinal action about the new bats and the way that ball flies. Another one down that left field line. Again, it's going to be foul. How the ball carrying last night's action?
Well, we saw 2 home runs yesterday, and I was wrong. I mean, the one occurred in the afternoon. The Egan kid from Appleton North just smoked the ball. First pitch in the 4th quarterfinal of the day. Greeted Sun Prairie with a first pitch home run. And that would have, no matter what bat you used.
Another foul ball, but it's caught by Sawyer Laddick for out number 1. Back to first, Markowitz.
And then we saw the Spurtell kid from Hartford Union hit one over the left field fence last night. And that one, the ball did seem to carry. But again, Matt's point is there's new bats this year. The BB Corps bat, which came into play in college baseball a year ago, has been mandated to be used in high school ball throughout the country this year. Last year, they could do some statistical data on the effect of the BB Corps bat, which basically shortens the sweet spot on the bat. It's been done for safety reasons, also to probably put more of an emphasis on pitching and defense into the game.
Well, that one flying over the head of Handy Fox after Derek Marquardt sent in the backstop area.
3 players converge. I got it, you take it, and nobody went for the ball. Laddick came off the mound. I don't know what the pitcher's doing there. He's got to take charge and make a call, either the catcher or the first baseman, to make the play. And Looked like the catcher Fox was going to go for it, and he didn't. So another swing for Marquardt.
And a throw to first with Markowitz back.
But again, the BB Corps bats caused the ball not to go as far, and the sweet spot just isn't as big. And a lot of balls that last year might have flown, and not flown out of here necessarily, but certainly gone to the fence. Don't have the juice they had a year ago as the trampoline effect, or the bats have been dejuiced. Saw a lot more doubles and triples yesterday than we have in other years. This is a big ballpark, a minor league facility used by the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. So there's a lot of room in the outfield in the gaps, and balls that didn't go out in previous year, or might have gone out in previous years, were in the gaps yesterday.
Here's the 2-1. And Marquardt, as Chris Downs, boy, he's come into play short, and he has made 3 fine defensive plays.
They are certainly a better defensive team with Downs playing the field and not on the mound.
As Markowitz now at second base. Retiring Marquardt, who had a triple and a couple of RBIs in his state appearance a year ago. So now Trevor Seawald on the very first pitch he sees. Wesley out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left out with Markowitz at second base. Middle of 3 in this Division IV state semifinal. It's 5-2 Coleman.
If you're a big fan of Wisconsin high school sports, check out WIAA.tv. Video webcasts and information on WIAA team mini videos. This unique web port features archive screens of state tournament action. WIAA.tv, one-stop web source for high school videos.
To the bottom of the third, it's 5-2 in favor of Coleman over Pittsville in this Division IV state semifinal. We'll continue with our coverage of the 65th annual WIAA Spring Baseball State Tournament. A busy stretch here on FoxSportsWisconsin.com with Spring State Baseball coming to a close tomorrow, but then starts softball and state soccer.
Matt, all fired up for
you know it.
The World game.
You know it. We'll be on at high noon.
D1 tomorrow?
D1. Quarterfinal action.
I see my kids' alma mater, Madison West, is back in the third.
They are. A couple of familiar faces in that D1 field as well with Waukesha West and DSHA. And the old Abe's of Eau Claire Memorial will get our day started with Kenosha Tremper. So check that out here on Fox Sports Wisconsin, state softball, and then championship Thursday right here in Grand Chute. Plenty of options.
And the best thing is the weather's not supposed to impact any of those games.
Well, there you see Wesley flying out to Trevor Seawald. And now Austin John. That we have really lucked out of these first couple of days here in Grand Chute. Had some lengthy nights, weather-related, over the past number of years. I think Division III took care of that a couple of weeks ago. The count, no balls, and a strike to the Panther left fielder. He would strike out for out number 3. That came in that 6-batter first. As Brof was told, there 5 have been left on base so far in the first 2 for Pittsville. The only other state appearance for the Panthers came in 2006. Back then they were in Division III. That was the first year of Division IV. Lost in a semifinal against Kenosha St. Joseph, 6-0. That was a 21-win team for the Panthers. Off into the bat, a base hit over Mitch Mergener. Austin John coming through with a one-out single. Hit number 4 for Pittsville.
Pittsville keeps pinging away. They have had base runners.
And no less than a 6-batter inning so far, and now here's Thomas Hughes. Looking to pick up where he left off in that sectional final. Hughes back for his senior season. First pitch he sees. Derek Marquardt. And John retreats to first. 2 down for Oli Voigt. I feel like I've been saying first pitch quite a bit. First pitch fly ball. First pitch ground out.
Yeah, they're going up there hacking.
That's Thomas Hughes with the lazy fly to Marquardt. Now Voigt would walk, advance on a wild pitch, and he would score the team's first run of that second inning. Kind of a bounce back inning for Mergener, though then again he has had a couple of lengthy innings. Right now is the 3 walks charged against. That's counting it up at 1-1 on Voigt. Mason, of course, the younger brother to Mike and Mitch. They're the twins on this roster. Their dad, a Little League coach once upon a time for many, if not most of those players in the Coleman dugout. Count even up. Bat 2-2, and the throw to first, getting back is Austin John.
Bengals had thrown it. He might have picked him off. He just ran right at the runner as if he thought John was going to get in a rundown, but
tried to lay off and apparently did just that. Jake Ingles in foul territory, looking to throw on that first base line, but staying close is John. Time here, and now Voigt back into that left batter's box. John at first with 2 down. We were in the home half of the third.
well, he's a good-sized kid, 6'4", 210. Only a junior.
Off the foul tip. Getting one of the 9 juniors. That's their big class on the Pittsville roster. Coming with the 19. Coleman, they have benefited from 8 seniors who have been playing baseball together for a very long time. We'll do the 3-2 again.
He's a 269 hitter with a homer and 15 knocked in. Give him a good battle up there against Mergener. I think this is the only day of the year I could think the nachos look good at 9 in the morning. I see a couple girls from Pittsville coming back. The helmet full of nachos at 9:04.
Well, there's ball 4 to Oli Voigt. What's the earliest you've ever had a hot dog here?
It's the only day of the year I ever hear somebody ordering a blue slushy or Slurpee at 7:45 a.m. too.
Well, here's Adam Sturgis. I'd go for a blue Slurpee or slushy right about now.
I could get that for you between innings. I know where they're available.
Just text Todd Clark over in the WIAA booth.
I don't think he cares that you want one. He's going to say, he'll send me after that baby.
Well, it's no balls, 2 strikes to Adam Sturgis. A strike away from perhaps not only a slushy, but getting out of this inning. That for the Cougars. Runners at first and second, 2 down. And a called strike 3. So Mergener walked another, gave up a hit, but gets out of it facing just 5. After 3, it's 5-2, Coleman.
The WIAA's Color Athlete Program recognizes all-around excellence in the classroom, in sports, and in our communities.
It's all right.
Top of the 4th inning, some of the youngsters climbing the big wooden chair out there in right field. I'm sure we will before all is said and done.
Fueled by a blue Slurpee.
No doubt about that, and some cotton candy. A ball and no strikes here in the top of the 4th with the 9-1 2 to do it for the Coleman Cougars. Trevor Seawall, the fielder's choice attempt, the run scored, and he would score in that 4-run second. Catch being made by Sawyer Laddick. Andy Fox got out of the way, and Laddick retiring Seawall.
Well, Laddick took charge. I think Fox got something in his eye.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday during the morning session. Just the way that sun is angled, position here, and especially this first game, this 8 a.m. game. Sometimes tough to see that ball at first. Not nearly as bad as it was yesterday. And now here is Chris Downs retiring Mike Mergener.
Well, Laddick's done a nice job. He's retired 6 in a row, or 5 in a row. In 2 1/3 innings of work.
See, I knew I was going to do it. I've already screwed up my Mergeners in order.
Well,
now we got Mason.
I know we need a telestrator to go over the family tree of the Mergeners.
It's not fair
Bob
at
had
8
me
o'clock in the
confused
morning.
talking about the Romans from Stevens Point yesterday going against Oconomowoc. And there we definitely needed a chart to keep track of. Either that or put genealogy.com up.
So a Champagne who flew off foul on the ball in the backstop area, and Mike Mergener who would ground out to short.
And this is now Mason Mergener, correct?
It is. He's 2 for 2.
And he's pitched as well.
I was going to say, as long as I say there's a Mergener batting, I'm going to be right a third of the time.
Yeah, you got a chance.
We had Seawald who would ground out for the third out in that 3rd inning. At the top of the order here for the Coleman Cougars, up 5-2.
Laddick looking for the first clean inning for a Pittsville pitcher today.
Comebacker Laddick flashing the leather. On the lob, Mason Mergener retired in a 1-2-3 top of the fourth. It remained 5-2, Coleman. To the bottom of the fourth. Hey, bro, there's your nachos.
Yeah, they are. 9 a.m. hot nachos. They look good, don't they?
They do. Or a nice
I don't know if that's
cold
a blue
soda.
I think that's just a soda. That is not a Slurpee. I specifically heard the woman ask for a Booze Slurpee, and I said to her, do you regularly order Booze Slurpees at 7:45?
Can't imagine that's a hot item, but maybe on a day like today, as we head to this bottom of the fourth with the top of the order due up, and Chris Downs.
Both teams are just 2 of 6 with runners in the scoring position today, but due to a couple errors, Coleman scored 4 runs in the second inning. And that's really the difference in the game right now. And the fact that Pittsville has lacked for a big hit, they've stranded 7 over the first 3 and let Mergener off the hook every inning.
That deflects off Mergener's glove. That's a tough play to make, and a defensive approach taken by Bushmaker, the first baseman, to keep that ball from getting by. Chris Downs able to reach by way of a single. He's 2 for 3. Heck of an effort nonetheless by Mitch Mergener, but tough play to make as Downs back to first.
And again, he's a threat to run at any time. Even though his club's down by 3, he proved in the second inning when they were down by 5, he wasn't afraid to run.
Both teams have 5 hits in the ball game. Sawyer Laddick takes a ball. He is 0 for 1. He would strike out for the second out in the first. He would walk. And he was left 90 feet away in the second. Again, among the 7 left on base, 4 have been left in scoring position. Fox at third in the first. Laddick at third in the second. Also, Jared Fox and Austin John each traded at second base in the first and third innings, respectively. Runner goes. That throw toward the third base side of the second base bag as Mitch Mergener able to knock it down, but a successful steal of second. Chris Downs now 2 for 2.
He's a good base runner. He got a big jump there. 47th steal of the year for Downs.
That being his 50th attempt. Three balls and a strike to Laddick. Again, the winner of this game gets the winner of Johnson Creek Greenwood. That comes up following this one. And a punch out by Mike Klein, but it's only strike 2. Think he needs a slushie.
You're right.
There's ball 4.
5th walk-off of Mergener. Pittsville's had 10 base runners in 3+ innings.
And yet Mergener's only allowed 2 runs to score. And ahead is Andy Fox. Reached on an E5, a 2-base error. A couple of errors on the same player. Run scoring back in the 2nd inning. The 1-0. And the count even up. Continuing to attempt and chip away at what was a 5-run deficit going into the bottom of the 2nd. And a bunt down the first base line and a beauty. Only play for Mergener on the backside of Andy Fox. And that moves down to 3rd. Laddick in the 2nd base.
Well, there they are chipping away. If you're going to bunt down 3 runs. But a nicely executed sacrifice by Andy Fox. The runners move up. Downs actually broke on the pitch. I think he had the bag stolen. But nonetheless, Fox gets a nice bunt down. And now Jared Fox needs to bring at least one of these in. The infield's back, so if you put the ball in play, you bring in another run and at least.
Nice stop by Ingles. Fox in his last plate appearance, he went the route of Mike Mergener. That was out number 3 in that 7-batter, 2-run 2nd inning. Again goes to Mike Mergener. And the Cougars trade the run for the out in a late break for 3rd base. Out, moving from 2nd to 3rd is Sawyer Laddick.
Well, that's not good base running, but the run will count. The run will count as Downs had crossed home before Laddick was thrown out on the base pass. And Laddick's getting a bit of a lecture from his coach, Bill Urban. If you're going to make that play, you got to go. Laddick waited, and then he broke, and then he stopped, and then he went again. And by then it enabled Bushmaker to throw him out at 3rd. But the run will count as Downs had crossed the plate before the throw by Bushmaker retired Laddick at 3rd. So Pittsville gets 1, gives Jared Fox an RBI, and we got a 2-run ball game after 4.
Back at Time Warner Cable Field, Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute. Top of the 5th, a 5-3 lead for Coleman in this Division IV state semifinal.
Left-hander Sawyer Laddick has given his team a chance to creep back in this one. He's thrown 2 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. In fact, he's retired the last 6 Coleman hitters in a row, and his teammates have chipped away. It was once a 5-0 lead. It's down to 5-3.
And I think you hit the nail on the head when talking about some of the defensive changes with Laddick Ian. It's been a different ball game behind him as well with Chris Downs over at short. We have a conference on the mound.
Yeah, I don't know why, what Bill Urban spotted that causes him to go visit Laddick. And it's just a coach-pitcher discussion.
Coach Urban came out and said, coming into the state tournament that we don't have any pitchers that throw in the 80s, but we do have guys who tend to throw strikes, and we have a solid defense behind them. A defense that has become solid as this game has gone on. A couple of defensive errors very early on. The 3-0 on the outside, and so Jake Ingles draws a leadoff walk.
Second walk off of Laddick. Who's yet to allow a hit. You got to think Mergener is going to bunt Ingles over here, or at least attempt to.
And now between first and second is Ingles. And tag is made by Jared Fox. I'll check that. Brad Wesley, the second baseman, on the lower backside.
So a caught stealing on Ingles goes 1-3-4. Ingles, first time he's been nailed all year. He was 19 of 19.
Mitch Mergener at 0 for 2. Now, Coleman, a very, talented group here in the sense that you look at what they've been able to accomplish throughout the course of this season, not only in baseball, but other sports. And it's had a high rate of success. There's a fly ball to left. Austin John. Mergener is out number 2. Back in the fall, their football team, 11-1. They went 7-0 as conference champs. Had a pretty nice run in the postseason. The wrestling team won its 3rd consecutive Division III team state title. They're 9th overall under Ken Casper's brother, Kevin. He's the wrestling coach at Coleman High School. And a number of the players in that first base dugout, both part of the football team and the wrestling team. And the seniors made it real clear that they would love nothing more than to get here to state for baseball and end their career with another state championship.
Yeah, it's obviously a pretty talented group of athletes.
Just can't imagine, though, from start to finish for some of these guys. I mean, not only are they picking up 3 conference championships in 3 different sports, but then to be able to compete at such a high level, at that state level. And these guys have been able to do it. They have been a model of consistency over the last couple of years. But from a baseball standpoint, this by far the most dominant season. They try to add to this 5-3 advantage, but nobody on with 2 outs. Lucas Markowitz, he's had 3 balls to 1 strike. And draws the walk, the 3rd issue now by Laddick. Second time that Markowitz has drawn ball 4, and it brings to the plate Trevor Bushmaker. Bushmaker was 2 for 3 in the team's sectional finals. He sends it foul down the third base line. Looking for his second hit in this, his 3rd plate appearance in this game. And a ground ball to the 3rd, fielded by Sturgis. He will go the short route. It wasn't easy. Hopping up, though, is Wesley to make the catch. Falling on top of that second base bag to retire Markowitz and the Cougars. Middle of 5. It remains 5-3. Coleman. 5-3, Coleman has made to the bottom of the 5th. See the sign top of your screen, get a hit. Well, they've gotten 5 so far. They've had base runners. That hasn't been an issue. I guess getting that clutch hit has been the obstacles. The team has left now a total of 8 on base. Mason Mergener to work. Brad Wesley along with Austin John and Thomas Hughes, the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up. Both teams 5 hits so far in the ball game. Again, our coverage of the 65th annual WIAA Spring Baseball State Tournament continues following this game, approximately 35 minutes after the contest. Johnson Creek and Greenwood. Greenwood, a number 1 team in the final D4 state rankings, only team here undefeated. And Johnson Creek coming in unranked. But they have had some dominating performances in getting here to Grand Chute. First things first, though, Coleman trying to hold off Pittsville in their comeback bid. 3 balls and a strike to Brad Wesley.
Division III semis are scheduled to start at noon, although we're quickly getting off schedule with this game. St. Mary's Central, 19-4, plays Parkview, or at 1 o'clock, excuse me, and then around 3:30, Prescott goes against Oshkosh Lourdes and Valley Christian. Division II semis tonight, Fox Valley Lutheran against Portage and Ellsworth against Racine St. Catharines. And then finals tomorrow at 9, noon, 3, and 6. We know the 6 o'clock game will feature Sun Prairie against Bayport. That'll be the Division I final. Then at 9 tomorrow, the Division IV final starts off Championship Thursday.
On the 3-2, Mike Mergener. Nice toss to retire Wesley.
Mergener's done a good job of getting the leadoff guy. Pittsville's only had the leadoff man on once. That was the last inning. Downs came around to score.
That 4th inning for Mason Mergener, his quickest of the ball game. In fact, the last 2 innings he has started to shave off the number of batters he has faced.
But he was aided by a base running gaff by Pittsville.
Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike to Austin John. He's 1 for 2 officially. A single left at second base on the 3rd. Right now, the Panthers essentially with 8 outs to work with. Able to score 2 in the second, added 1 in the 4th after they were down 5-0 by the middle of the second, thanks to Coleman scoring 1 in the 1st, adding 4 in the 2nd inning. Everybody batted in that second. 3 runs were recorded, or 4 runs on 3 hits. And then a Panther error. Strikeout of Austin John for the 2nd time. And now K number 4 for Mason Mergener. 2 down. Here's Thomas Hughes. He flew out to Derek Marcourt for out number 2 back in the 3rd. High chopper to short, played though by Mike Mergener. And again, a perfect throw over to Trevor Bushmaker. And the first 1-2-3 inning, that for Mason Mergener. To the 6th inning from Grand Chute, 5-3 Coleman. Hey, what do you have the second error for Pittsville? Matt Menzel with Bill Brophy back in Grand Chute as we head to the top of the 6th inning in our first Division IV state semifinal. The Coleman Cougars looking to advance with their 27th consecutive win. Trying to hang on to this 5-3 advantage. Laddick back to work. He has done what he's needed to at least give his offense a chance to rally. He has yet to give up a run, let alone a hit, in the first 3 innings.
Kid's really done a nice job. He's come in and by and large thrown strikes and induced a lot of ground balls.
Neither one of these teams has ever won a semifinal. That's obviously going to change by game's end, as both compete in Division IV for the first time. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes to Derek Marquardt. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored back in the second. Again, that was a 9-batter, 4-run, 3-hit, 2-error frame for the Cougars. And actually, about the time that Laddick came in to face the final 2, got the final 2 outs after it's the 1-1-3, logged by the starting right-hander, Chris Downs. Two. Wesley able to glove it is Voigt to retire Marquardt.
Laddick has now induced 7 ground ball outs. In 4 innings of work. Had that sinker working. Hadn't struck anybody out, but he's thrown ground balls.
Well, Seawald, who was an all-conference honorable mention last year as a freshman, picks up the first hit off of Laddick. It comes with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning.
Goes the other way, and I think that's the way you got to hit against this left-hander. Think what he gives you, and there he serves that one into right field, falling in front of Crone. Coleman as a base runner with 1 out in the 6th, and they could use some insurance. Their bats have been a little lethargic since Laddick entered the game.
They have 6 hits in the ball game as that baseball finds an empty bleacher. Some of the fans are already filing in, getting ready for the second game between Greenwood and Johnson Creek. And back to first base, Trevor Seawald. 1 on and 1 out for Mitch Champagne. Been able to reach base on 2 occasions. Can't even over 1-1.
Seawald a threat to run. He's 4 of 4 in stolen base this year. But I think the pickoff last inning has cautioned all the Coleman base runners to be aware of the left-hander's move.
Champagne a gap shot. Rounding second base, Seawald. He's being sent around third. Easily going to score. RBI triple for Mitch Champagne, and the Coleman Cougars now lead 6-3.
And Champaign, second RBI. This one with a triple that hit the gap. Goes the other way and puts the ball between Crone and Fox. Reading that one accurately, Seawald was off at the crack of the bat. He knew neither outfielder was going to get it, and he scored easily. Infield comes in to try to shut off another run.
Second triple of the season for Champaign, fifth for the team. Second RBI in the game. He now has 25. Marginer at 1 ball and no strikes. Watch that all the way into the glove of Andy Fox for ball 2. Mike next year a shortstop for UW Oshkosh. Looks at strike 1. He would ground out to the shortstop, Chris Brown. Out number 2, part of a 1-2-3-4. The only 1-2-3 recorded by the Panthers defensively. Count 2-2. Champaign dancing around that third base box as Mike Mergener talking, Kent Casper up that third base line. '17th year. Kent Casper has done an outstanding job with this program. Now looking for even more insurance. 2-2 to. And there's that base at the left field. Mergener to left. That's scoring Mitch Champaign. 7-3 Cougars.
Second RBI, for Mike Mergener. Laddick mad at himself. He hung a curveball and basically said, hit me. Mergener obliged and gets it into left field. He hangs it and he bangs it.
And now Mason Mergener. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and an RBI. Last plate appearance, rounded out on a comebacker. And back to first base goes Mergener, Mike Mergener over at first. Had a short lead, but catching the attention of Sawyer Laddick. So a 2-spot here in the 6th. First run scored by the Cougars is putting up 4 in the 2nd. They have now scored 40 times here in the postseason. Another ball that was hung for Mason Mergener to smack to right. Mike taking third. Ball goes toward third, and that allows Mason to take second base. Also an E9 on the throw from Crone. That allowing Mason Mergener to advance to second base. Error number 3 against the Panthers.
And those are 2 pretty big runs out there. If Coleman can pick those up, then they're going to walk Engels intentionally. But I think that would be very demoralizing to Pittsville. Mitch Mergener is 0 for 3 today. Infield comes in.
He's trying to drive in his 2 brothers, second and third. He'll do just that. Mike Mergener followed by Mason Mergener. A 2 RBI single for Mitch Mergener.
And I'm afraid Laddick just ran out of gas as he got his pitches up this inning. And that's the 5th hit of the inning after Laddick had thrown 3 2/3 of hitless ball prior to that. I think you're going to see Fox, the catcher, go to the mound. The 2 big RBIs for Mitch Mergener. Mason Mergener's got 1 RBI, and Mike Mergener's got 2 RBIs. Team Mergener beating Pittsville handily.
Yeah, the family affair here in the 6th inning, a 4-run 6th. And now a 9-3 advantage. 9 runs on 10 hits for Coleman. Able to jump in front 5-0. Pittsville able to creep back to within 2, but 9-3. Cougars here in the 6th.
Who's the catcher?
Signs aplenty out here this morning here at Time Warner Cable Field at Fox City Stadium. Call to the bullpen has been made for Pittsville as Andy Fox in relief for Sawyer Laddick.
Yeah, hits aplenty this inning for Coleman. 5 of them. And then shells Laddick. He's replaced by his catcher, Fox. We'll give you his numbers after this pitch, or fake the second. Andy Fox as a pitcher, 5-0 with a 2.43 ERA. 13th game for Fox. His 8th out of the bullpen. He threw a complete game in one of his 4 starts. In 48 innings, he's allowed 46 hits. Has allowed 16 earned runs. Walking 24, striking out 47. Andy Fox trying to stop the bleeding here. What are our other changes? Laddick went back to center, moving Fox to left field.
Correct, Jared Fox, and then Austin John now catching. Counting it up at 1 ball, 1 strike to Lucas Markowitz. We'll reset the Pittsville defense for you in a minute. As there have been guys moving around throughout the course of this one with the 3, now third pitcher being used. Although Downs, Laddick, and Fox, they pitched about 97% of the innings at conference play and a good, I would say, 80-85% during the entire season. There's a base hit for Markowitz. In the score is Jake Engels. 10-3 Coleman. 10-plus run down for a 15th time this season in game number 28.
Didn't run was on there. Engels broke with the pitch. Markowitz served it into right field for his first hit of the day. He's been on 4 times, 2 walks and an error. RBI for Markowitz. It's 10-3.
Nearly getting a piece of Mitch Mergener, who's at third base, to Trevor Bushmaker. So it's Jared Fox along with Sawyer Laddick and Nick Crone from left to right field. Adam Sturgis, Chris Downs, Brad Wesley, and Ole Voigt from third to first. And Austin John is now catching Andy Fox. Bushmaker, the 9th batter here in the top of the 6th inning. Second time we have seen the entire lineup in an inning for the Cougars. Step and throw to third. Beauty of a move by Andy Fox to pick off Mitch Mergener.
We might have guessed right there that a squeeze was coming because Mergener was way off the base.
Nothing and 2 on Bushmaker. So now 2 down here in this top of the 6th inning. All 5 runs of the inning charged to Laddick. His book now closed. 5 runs, 5 hits, no strikeouts, walking 4, including 1 intentionally through 4 innings of work on the hill. Six hits in the inning. 11 for the ball game. Time is called as there's a baseball in that corner left field side. So Jared Fox able to retrieve that and throw it to the third base umpire, Ron Quark. You have Mike Klein behind the plate. Luis Eisenman at first. Tom Cameroon second base, and then the veteran Ron Quark at third. Base hit for Bushmaker. Markowitz to second base. With 2 down, here is Derek Marquardt, 10th batter in the inning. So Coleman came into the inning only up 5-3. They have created that big separation. And the way things were setting up, had Pittsville been able to get out of this unscathed, now they're 8-9 hitters, and they do in the bottom half of this 6th. The 3 that have been able to produce all 3 runs so far. Hanging long enough for the ball to be put away by Sawyer Laddick. And a 10-batter, 5-run top of the 6th comes to a close. Cougars all over the Panthers now at 10-3. Bottom of the 6th inning here from Time Warner Cable Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute. Matt Menzel with Bill Brophy, Fox Sports Wisconsin's coverage of the 65th annual WIAA Spring Baseball State Tournament. Ole Voigt leads things off. The first pitch by the new pitcher for Coleman, as Mitch Marginer has relieved his brother Mason. Mason now taking a spot over at second base.
Mitch 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. This is his 10th game, his 9th out of the bullpen. He's thrown 10 innings, allowed 4 hits and 2 earned runs, walked 8 and struck out 15.
Nice. Right back up the middle, and Mitch Marginer trying to spin out of the way, stuck the glove out there and made the catch.
And why would a coach make a move like this, you might ask? Well, it's to save his ace, Mason Marginer, for tomorrow. Mason Marginer throws 5 innings. He has 2 innings left to throw tomorrow, assuming Coleman keeps his healthy lead and makes it to the title game. And by adding on as they did in the last half inning, Casper felt pretty confident that Mitch Marginer could come in and slam the door, saving some innings for his brother on Championship Thursday.
Ball gets out of play. From Mason Marginer, lasting 5 innings, allowing 3 runs on 6 hits. Striking out 4, he would walk 5. For Mitch, ahead 1 ball to 2 strikes and Adam Sturgis. Got even up at 2-2. Cougars have led it throughout. Up 5 early. And now up 7 by scoring 10 plus in a ball game for the 15th time this season. 3rd time now here in the postseason. Had a stretch at one point where they had 9 out of 10 games where they scored at least 10 runs. 6 straight. Sliding, and the ball will drop after Lucas Markowitz tried to come up with it. A hit for Adam Sturgis.
So Sturgis bloops one in front of Markowitz and right. 6th hit for the Panthers, and we're going to get a courtesy runner for for Sturgis.
That being Casey Olson. He's a junior for Coach Urban's team. Top of the order in Chris Downs. 2 for 3, couple of runs scored and an RBI. Just to further our point about how dominant Coleman has been this season, they're looking for their 23rd win by 5+ runs. Count even up at 1-1. Now that 3-2 sectional final win, a game in which their back was up against the wall going into the final inning of play. And there's a strikeout of Chris Downs. 2 down.
Spun the ball, and Downs, mad at himself, strikes out. Got 2 for 4 today.
That bringing up Sawyer Laddick, who is back out in center field. But that 1-run ball game that the team had against Rochelle in the sectional final, their first 1-run ball game since Game 3 of the season. That coming a couple of days after their only loss, which came in Game 1 against Freedom, 4-3. Help this team refocus on the ultimate goal at hand, getting here and making some noise, and they have done that here on this semifinal Wednesday. Looking for that 27th consecutive win, first championship game appearance. Program finishing number 3 in the final D4 state rankings. Count of 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down here in the home half of the 6th inning.
Coming up next, the Indians of Greenwood against the Blue Jays of Johnson Creek in our other Division 4 semifinal. That'll start 35 minutes after the conclusion of this one, so probably be somewhere in the neighborhood about 11 a.m. We invite you to join us. And it's Division 3 semis beginning at 1 this afternoon, and 2 Division 2 semifinals beginning allegedly around 6 o'clock tonight.
Olsen to second base. On the 2-out single by Sawyer Laddick.
Laddick's been on 3 times today. 2 walks and now that hit.
And now Andy Fox.
Brad Brooks is going to run as a courtesy runner for Laddick. Looks like Bill Urban's trying to get some kids in the state tournament. Good for him, even if it's a courtesy runner. The names in the box scores.
Brad Brooks, a junior. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I should say that was the count when Laddick hit it. Andy Fox now at the batter's box. Got thrown off by the scoreboard that had yet to be reset. There's strike 1, 2 Fox. Could be 2-2 at some point. But as Prof mentioned, a full day of baseball. Chances are if you click on foxsportswisconsin.com at some random hour of the day, you're going to find a baseball game. 5 more still to come today, and then your choice. Baseball, softball, soccer coming up tomorrow before softball and soccer on Friday and Saturday. Champions to be crowned on Saturday in those 2 sports. Two balls, a strike to Fox. Jared Fox on deck. Mitch Mergener missing up and in. 3 balls and a strike.
Pittsville needs a long ball. Needs one to the gap or one over the fence to get back in this one.
Count is full of 3-2. Fox has been able to reach twice. Lay down a nice sacrifice back in the 4th. Only 1 run came of it. Runners go, comebacker, and Mitch Mergener. He will underhand lob it to Bushmaker, and that's out number 3. Mergener to Bushmaker for the 3rd out with a pair left on. To the 7th we go. It's 10-3 Coleman. Seventh inning is on here from Grand Chute, 65th annual WIAA Spring Baseball State Tournament. D4 semifinal. Coleman faithful. They may not necessarily look excited in that picture, but let me tell you, they've been real excited throughout as their team on the defensive side 3 outs away from moving on to tomorrow's Division IV championship game at 9 a.m.
Pinch hitter, I think. This is J.J. Grishow. Going to get some swings in.
J.J. batting .250, just his 5th at bat. 1 for 4.
That J.J. is a senior. Going to get rewarded with a state tournament appearance and a hit. And a Coleman faithful like that.
So as those fans erupt, we go back to the top of the order. And another pinch hitter, that's going to be Adam Zeitler, the 5'9", 150-pound senior.
Well, again, good for Coach Casper for rewarding some kids who hung in there with the program. I think this is Casper's first AB. Or Zeitler's. I take that back. He's 1 for 5, too.
Hit number 13, though, for the Cougars. Grishow over at first. Downs to second for 1, the relay. Slow in, coming over to first, and so Zeitler is safe by way of the fielder's choice. 6-4 on the putout, 1 down. Mike Mergener, the batter. And coming out of the Coleman dugout is Mitch Champagne to re-enter and run for Zeitler.
And Zeitler, a happy guy, jumps into the dugout. You got to swing a bat in the state tournament. He's a happy guy.
He is one of those 8 seniors for Coleman. A lot of smiles in that first base dugout. We told that story earlier about how easy it is to play the what-if game, looking back at last year and being within 3 outs of advancing to the Division III state championship game. As a steal a second for Champagne. But then ended up losing a tough one against Winnebago Lutheran, who went on to win the championship game. Another sum in that dugout, and rightfully so. You expect it from Coleman saying, hey, you know, if we would have beaten Winnebago Lutheran, does that mean we would have been able to win that Division III state championship game? Well, I certainly thought it after Winnebago Lutheran beat Partyville, but Coleman then the entire offseason, outside of their football and wrestling, from a baseball standpoint, the goal is to get back here at Division IV and see if they couldn't make this a special season. Been able to do that, and again, they're 3 outs away defensively from getting to that championship game as Mike Mergener draws the walk. And now Mason Mergener, who has singled on 3 occasions. He has picked up an RBI. He has scored a run. Laddick on the catch. Champagne back to second. Mike Mergener back to first. 2 outs for Jake Engels. He has walked twice, including being intentionally walked in the 6th. Came around to score one of the 5 runs in that 10-batter 6th inning. Out at first base is Mike Mergener. Throw from Fox to Oli Voigt. Able to apply the tag, and to the bottom of the 7th, Pittsville down 7. The Pittsville Panthers down to their final 3 outs in this, their second ever state tournament appearance and their first since being in Division III back in 2006. Down 10-3. Jared Fox against Mitch Mergener. In relief of his brother Mason, who's in line for the victory. Fox in the game. 1 for 2, RBI single in the 4th. See in that background, getting ready for their game, Greenwood. And Johnson Creek, that's the next matchup. Count here at a ball and 2 strikes. Greenwood's a perfect 25-0. Johnson Creek is 20-5. Well, Tapper put away. Reaching back is Mike Mergener. And Fox retired. That brings up Brad Wesley. 1 for 3. Gonna bunt down that third base line, but the ball rolls foul.
They need base runners, so anyway at all. Good idea. Third baseman Seawald was playing deep. They need a lot of base runners. Down 7 with 2 outs to go.
Got as close as 5-3 after falling behind 5-0 before the potential knockout punch came in the 6th with the 5 spot for the Cougars.
Yeah, they took advantage of a tired Sawyer Laddick. In fact, watching Laddick throw the ball in from center field, his arm looks like it's really sore right now. He didn't have much on the throw.
Able to get to the starter Chris Downs from the get-go and knocked him from the game after 1 in the 3rd. 1-2. 2 down. And the bat in the hands of Austin John.
Catcher 13, Austin John.
Second strikeout for Mitch Marginer.
Offered on the high pitch off the appeal down the first baseline, confirming that was the case, and John behind 0-1. Coleman a strike away from a Division IV state championship game appearance. Some of the fans start to rise for Coleman.
The Merger spiked that one. We got about 55 feet.
Got even up at 2-2. Austin John 1 for 3, couple of strikeouts. So far 6 strikeouts for Coleman pitching. Now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Looking for just the second 1-2-3 inning of the contest for Coleman. Inning extended for Thomas Hughes. So a 2-out walk, and now the Panther DH, who's 0 for 3.
Gabe Haudela is going to go on as the courtesy runner for John, who extended the game. Might have benefited by Mergener falling in love with his breaking pitch after getting ahead 0-2.
Haudela, who's at first base, a junior. Hughes is one of the 2 seniors who will see their baseball careers come to a close for Pittsville. And 1 ball to no strikes. It's 2-0.
6 straight balls from Mergener. after he got within a pitch of ending it. Seven straight.
Able to find the strike zone that time. Count goes to 3-1 with 2 down. Already the Panthers have left 10 on base as time is called by Thomas Hughes. Had a chance to tie the game if not take the lead in the bottom of the first, but would strand the bases loaded. And have been playing catch-up ever since. Playable in foul territory, and the catch made by the first baseman, Trevor Bushmaker. And the Coleman Cougars, for the first time in program history, are championship game bound with this their 27th consecutive win, moving on to a 9 a.m. date for the Division IV state championship.
Nice play by Bushmaker to end it, but Coleman puts up 2 crooked numbers, a 4 spot in the second, 5 in the sixth. 2 RBIs apiece from Mike Mergener, Mitch Champagne, and Mitch Mergener. Mason Mergener gets the pitching win. He's got 2 innings left if they need pitching tomorrow on Championship Thursday, so it's a good day to be a Mergener. Coleman makes it to the state championship for the first time. Again, the keys were a 4-run second when all the runs were unearned, aided by 2 errors by Pittsville, and a 5-run sixth inning when they bunched 7 hits against the tiring Sawyer Laddick, who by and large did a real good job coming out of the bullpen for Pittsville in relief of Chris Downs. So, nice year for Pittsville. Coleman gets to play for a title tomorrow.
Final line score sees Coleman scored 10 runs on 13 hits, 2 errors, 8 left on base. And Pittsville scoring 3 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors, 11 left on base. Time of game, 2 hours, 14 minutes is Coleman, now 27-1. Pittsville season coming to a close at 19-7. Stay tuned, coming up shortly before 11 a.m. It's game 2, our second Division IV semifinal, as Johnson Creek and the top-ranked team in Division IV, Greenwood, battle to move on to play Coleman at 9 a.m. tomorrow. On behalf of our entire crew behind the scenes, for my broadcast partner Bill Brophy, Pat Menzel saying so long for now from Time Warner Cable Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute. You've been watching continuing coverage of the 65th Annual WIAA Spring Baseball State Tournament on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
And again, about half an hour or so. If you are heading out, please get home safely. Thank you very much for attending 2012